Hi, I'm Jamie Lewis and welcome back to thebasis.net. Today we're going to start a little series called How to Set Up Your Bass. And essentially we're just going to go over all the different things that a pro guitar tech would do to your bass if you brought it in for a setup. And speaking of professional guitar techs, I actually have one with us. His name is Pete Hilton, and he's the master luthier behind Hilton Guitars. Pete makes handcrafted custom shop instruments out of Los Angeles, California, and is well known in the bass community for his unique designs, his acute attention to detail, and superb craftsmanship. Now you're gonna get to know Pete pretty well over the course of this series. And let me say this right here, okay? If you have any technical questions about the things that Pete's talking about or the setup process, don't ask me. I am not the pro in this field. So if you leave questions in the comment section below, it's really just gonna be falling on deaf ears. I highly recommend that you reach out to Pete directly. You can get in touch with him at his website, hiltonguitars.com, or just direct message him on Instagram or Facebook or something like that. So a couple of weeks ago, I found myself at Pete's workshop there in Los Angeles, California, and I just asked him to walk us through the process of what he would do if a client brought in a bass to do a setup. And that's exactly what we did. I had my 1966 Guild Starfire with me. I had just done a recording session the previous evening, and I brought it in for a setup. So this is what Pete said to do.
First thing I do is I look down the neck. I always look down this very edge.
Of like the E string area?
Yeah, the E string, look right at the very edge of the fingerboard and making sure there's no high spots, or if it needs to be adjusted, you'll see like the neck kind of, dip down, almost like slope down.
I know a lot of people will say to do this kind of thing where you like hold this string on these frets and test there.
You could do that. I kind of trust my eye more because that's, even if you press here or you press here, there could be a high fret that could like offset the whole thing.
Do you always do that? Do you always loosen it up as much as it'll go and then start from zero?
I start from zero. I mean, it's honestly, you had a half a turn right there, which, that's all it really takes.
So I can even see it. Holy moly.
You can see how much.
Yeah. Woo!
Yeah. And if you look down to the very edge right here, you'll see it just kind of.
You're right.
Just scoops right down.
Scoops up right there in the middle.
What you don't want to see is when you do this, you take all tension off, and then they'll kick up at the end.
And that's not what you want.
Sometimes that could be an issue because even if you get the neck straight, you still may have a buzzing down here. I mean, most of the times it's like the frets need to come out and you need to really just take a bunch of the meat off the fingerboard down here.
And like sand the fingerboard down?
Oh yeah, yeah, and then do a whole fret job. But yeah, I'll just give it like, a quarter of a turn at a time.
And the direction you're going currently is tightening the truss rod because we loosened it so much. Is it the traditional righty-tighty, lefty-loosey?
Yep. Yeah, this guy.
So you're just staring down the barrel of the gun and you're tightening it slowly until it looks right to you.
Yeah. Another thing what people do is you hold the instrument here. But in reality, it's like you kind of want to let go of it because this is how it's gonna.
Because you're putting pressure on it.
Put tension down here. If you push up here, you might still see a tiny bit of relief. You let go of it and look at it like that, and it's like, okay, this is where it's gonna sit naturally.
It's that obvious.
Oh yeah.
And are you looking again down this edge right now?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Like I'll look at both sides too, because sometimes you don't want to see like one side might have a little bit of relief, another side it may have like a little bump up or something. Just looking to make sure you don't see any like imperfections.
Do you double check it on? Do you need to look down from this angle too, or it doesn't even matter?
You get more of a head-on version of looking up like right here. Yeah. Yeah.
Let me take a look. Yeah, what we got here? Yeah.
It's pretty straight.
Good job.
This is easy.
You did well. All right.
As you look down, you can see it start dipping down like right there. Yep. And you see how high the action is right there. And that's with no tension on the truss rod at all. And after tightening it, just get rid of that relief.
Right. So now there in the center, there's no bump anymore.
Yeah, there's no bump. No. Tradition has scared us. So it's like in your head, it's like it's like, that's the danger zone. Don't do that. I mean, it's such an easy thing to kind of play around with and just see how it works. And then once you know how it works, it's like, oh, that's worth the $60 I was going to spend for this guy. Yeah, I mean, you can. I've had some that, where just to unloosen it, it was just like so tight because some were just cranked up as far as they could go. Most of the time you'll see from neglect, like it'll just sit in the closet for a long time. And I had one that came in here and it just wasn't adjusted and the neck was completely warped. And no matter how much tension you put on the nut, it was never coming back. Because what tension had like kind of warped the neck in a way where it held that on and the wood just formed
for however many years.
Formed to the tension, and there was like no coming back from that. So it's always good to just even if you're storing an instrument, just keep an eye on it because it's still wood's still a living thing.
How often do you recommend checking the instrument for that type of thing?
Depends how.
Do it once a year?
Nah, check it every couple months.
Hey, if you like this video, do me a favor, please give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel by clicking on this button over here. And if you really like what I do, come hang out with me at thebassist.net by clicking on this button down here. Also check out The Bassist Podcast. New episodes go live each and every week. And until next time, I'll see you again here at thebassist.net.